this current thing with YouTube and monetization and Patreon and YouTubers' expectations of subscribers. So where do you start? I guess something is very annoying to me is that since I'm a conservative, I kind of expect, and this is probably something I shouldn't expect, is that people in the gun world, I'm going to stop saying gun community because I really don't think it is a community. There's no gun culture and there's no gun community. I think these are catchphrases we use, and there really is no community, and that's another video. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, among gun lovers, among Second Amendment lovers, I expect people to be kind of conservative, and when I hear people talk about evil corporations, it kind of bugs me. And what I'm talking about is this thing we seem to have. You hear YouTubers, and it has come up more lately, where people, big YouTubers especially, will say, "I don't want to go corporate." They'll talk about, the way they talk about corporations is the evil. They're using sort of current millennial YouTube internet memes of corporations, and my thing is that you're a hypocrite, because when things were going really well in YouTube, you were taking money from corporations. That's right. If you took a check from Google AdSense, who do you think paid Google for the ads? The evil corporations were the ones running the advertisements that you got a chunk of. Okay, so yeah, you were taking money from the evil corporations and bashing them at the same time. So now that the evil corporations have pulled some of their advertising, you want to go to your, and I'm kind of doing this tongue-in-cheek. I hope nobody takes this offensively. I guess I'm kind of being a little harsh, but it's just an opinion. It seems like, and it's a long story, but I made a couple of videos here recently where, there's this thing that people want to stifle your ability to give an opinion now on the internet. You can't, or on YouTube especially, you can't make a video. People forget that when YouTube first started, and I've been on YouTube for over 10 years, that the way we communicated with each other was through video responses. And YouTube, I don't think, liked that, and they got rid of the whole thing. Specialties, equipment, furnishings. This is a job where a guy ran through a storefront, and we don't have any elevators, no fire suppression, no plumbing, and so I could get sidetracked pretty easily here if I'm not careful. There's this thing. First of all, you have to call capitalism evil, and you can't really speak your mind about conservatism or capitalism. You have to be fighting the man and fighting the evil corporations. And the big YouTubers aren't really, if they were honest, they're not honest and sincere, and they won't come out and tell you what they really think. But I could kind of see through some of it when they use the memes, when they use the current schema, which is to say, oh, I can't be corporate, I gotta go Patreon. Well, you were corporate. And asking your few subscribers who are loyal to pay you now for content, which is another thing I had on my list. People, especially millennials, wanting to see their favorite gun from a video game shot in real life are not used to paying for content. Who do you think runs ad blockers 99 all the time, 100% of the time? The people you're asking to support you on Patreon are the same people who blocked your ads when the evil corporations were paying you for advertising. You see, it's a big circle fest, okay? So I think we're going to end up spending about $2,500 on electrical, zero on communications, no earthwork, no and utilities. So it's funny because here's the thing, okay? Here's an example of what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about 20 different things at once, so if you don't understand, if you can't follow me, I don't blame you, okay? But some of my videos have millions of views. I have a video with 8 million views right now. How many subscribers do I have? 64,000. Those aren't real subscribers. What people don't understand on YouTube is that our subscribers are like, they're kind of like a currency to YouTube, okay? You are fed subscribers, or they are taken away based on YouTube's algorithm, for one thing, and another is whether you're towing the line or not. If you're, Google is one of the most left-leaning. Now, see, people are going to think this is a conspiracy theory, but it's really not, because you saw this during the election where all these big YouTubers were coincidentally somehow at the same time pushing Hillary to be elected. There's no coincidence there. This is these talking points come down from on high, and people who kind of, especially in the gun community, if you don't ride down the middle, if you don't straddle the fence with your politics, trust me, if some of these big YouTubers started getting political, especially if they were honest about their politics, their views would go way down and their subscribers would go way down. And they straddle that fence purposely. You'll see people like Hickok give his opinion in his blog, but he'll never make a video and talk about his opinion. The other day he wrote an article about how Christians and Republicans are keeping people out of the gun community, like there was a gun community, I was talking to some of these people he was talking about, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm pro Second Amendment, but I also believe in responsible gun laws like universal background checks." And I was like, "Dude, you can't be pro Second Amendment and believe in universal background checks." Anyway, that's a whole nother video. Good Lord, this gets into a very, very broad range of topics, and nobody really wants to talk about it. I can talk about it because I don't care. I've always been on YouTube as a hobby, and maybe it shows. It's showing right now. I'm doing a stinking rough estimate on a project while I'm making a video that nobody cares about. But it's just funny because some of these people have put all their eggs in one basket, and their main income, their revenue source is YouTube. And now that the monetization has gone away pretty much, they're trying to get what few subscribers they have that actually would do this to support them on Patreon, and it's just not sustainable. What is sustainable is that if people would stop bashing the evil corporations and support capitalism, we could have an atmosphere where the ads would come back, we could make good content, good companies would pay to have their ads on our videos, and we would start making money again. You're never going to make the kind of money you were making. These big YouTubers, you'll never make the kind of money you were making from Patreon. It's just not sustainable. And if you look at your, see, this is going back to views versus subscribers. Like I was saying earlier, I've got, some of these, I've got plenty of videos that went, not plenty, some videos that went viral. I had made decent money off of them, and then it went away. So, but this was always a hobby. But the point I'm trying to make there is that the bulk of your views are going to come from non-subscribers, or they're not non-subscribers. It's just the fact that your subscriber count has nothing to do with your view count. That's the point. The point is you could ask for all the Patreon supporters in the world, and some of the big YouTubers, and see, this is where there is no community, because the big YouTubers will benefit from Patreon for a while until, the people get tired of just paying monthly. There's only so many people who will pay monthly. There's only so much they will pay monthly. Even if somebody was paying $1 a month, they start paying that to 5 or 6 YouTubers. After a certain time, you're talking about a Netflix payment, a Amazon Prime payment. Why do these big YouTubers expect people to pay, to support more than a couple of big YouTubers, or anybody for that matter, and at some point not expect real content, steady content? It's just not sustainable, and nobody is really thinking objectively about that. So you're asking for a few loyal people to support your entire channel when your viewership is very broad. When I had one of my 3D printing videos went viral, I had people from Japan going crazy over it. My 3D printed knife video was on a Japanese news channel. I got a CD. They sent me a copy of but that went away. Then they watched it, and the next day they all went away. So again, the point I'm trying to make there is that, I can probably count 10 or 15 people who watch my videos consistently and leave comments. Okay, I get a couple hundred views on an average. So why would I ask 5 or 10 people to support me on Patreon, which wouldn't amount to anything? I'm sorry. I just wouldn't ask them in the first place. That's because I believe in our capitalistic system, in our free market system, that I should create good content and post it, and if people want to watch it, I will get plenty of views. This is going to become like welfare for big YouTubers. Maybe that's what I'll name the video. Is Patreon welfare for big YouTubers? But again, it's just not sustainable, and they're not thinking. How many? Just take the gun community alone, and it's selfish and presumptuous to think that these people only watch gun videos, or that I watch all kinds. I watch science, religion, philosophy, history videos, everything. I watch every kind of video you can think of. I can't even dream about supporting these people on Patreon. I don't have that kind of money, So where do these people think that all these viewers are going to come up with all this money? Sure, 1 or 2 of them may do well, but they're going to be soaking all the resources up from viewers, and the smaller channels are going to get, they're already, when I say get screwed, they will not see the benefit. They will not be able to they will be back acting, and I'm already, I've always treated YouTube the same, is that it's a place where I can go, it's a hobby. I don't have to worry about the content I put out because I'm not trying to make a living at it. I make a living, as a general contractor, design build contractor, which I should be finishing up this estimate. The point is, and there's too many points to say, the point is, I guess I think what these people should be doing is trying to reinforce the original model instead of trying to change the model. They should reinforce it with their views. They should say, I believe in free markets. I believe I should create good content. I believe the system should come back. I believe in corporate America. Here's one more point, and I'll let you go. This is where the dishonesty comes in, and this is where I have to cut through some of the BS. If Remington Arms or anybody came to me tomorrow and offered me $1 million to make videos for them, it would be irresponsible of me to turn them down because I owe it to my family to be successful, and B, I would be a liar if I said I wasn't interested in that in the first place. So these people, who sit and are all asking you to become a Patreon, and again, I wish them well. I just want them to realize that it's not sustainable for the entire community that we ask people to support us on Patreon, because the upper tier of YouTubers will do well, and the lower tier, there's a big pie of people there's not a big pie, there's a small pie of people who will support YouTube on Patreon, and in that small pie there's going to be big chunks taken out of that pie of certain YouTubers, and everybody else will be left in the cold. Hopefully they will be like me, and it's just people who look at YouTube as a hobby, and any kind of check that I got from the evil corporations at the end of the month was just a bonus. And so anyway, it's been a long video, and I don't know if I actually made any long-lasting points, but I guess if I had to summarize, I wish that people would be more honest about their politics. B, I wish they would share their views and be honest about their politics in their videos, because I think that would help reinforce the system. The system that works is capitalism and free markets. That is the system that works. Asking for certain people, asking for support from viewers is a model. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's akin to welfare, but it's not welfare. It's not welfare. I said that 2 or 3 times. It's not sustainable as a business model. And I think if people were more honest and upfront about their views, that the system would be, if Google wasn't able to oppress people, oppress content creators, oppress conservative content creators, and we would express our true feelings, or not feelings, our true thoughts and our opinions, then the system would be stronger, and they would be less likely, not really less likely, but now I'm getting a phone call. I think it would be better. Anyway, back to business. Thanks, guys. Hey, John.